Good evening. You're joining with Prime TV News and I'm Pankaj Kulatunga. First, the news headlines. Today is the Udua Full Moon Poya Day, which marks the launching of Bhikkhuni order in the country. The President says state officials should not allow illegal activities and malpractices. Several non-cabinet ministers, state and deputy ministers take their oaths. Soldiers continue to donate blood to save the lives of the patients in the northern province. The US government partially shuts down over the border wall row. Now for the news in detail. Today is the Udua Full Moon Poya Day, which marks several important events, including the launching of Bhikkhuni order in the country. It is on an Udua Full Moon Poya Day, Bhikkhuni Sangamitta brought the southern branch of Jayashree Mahabodhi to Sri Lanka. The Bhikkhuni order was established in the country on a Poya Day like today. The Buddhist history has recorded that it was on an Udua Full Moon Poya Day that a group of women led by Princess Anula attained the state of Sowan after listening to a sermon by Arahat Mihindu Mahathera. The Sripada pilgrimage also commences from today. The 45th Sadaham Yatra program was held at the Gampaha District International Peace Temple under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. The President engaged in religious practices at the temple. Thereafter, he called over on the Chief Adhikarana Sanganayaka of Western Province and the Chief Monk of the temple, Venerable Talangalle Somasirithera. Following the meeting of the President, listened to Dhamma sermon delivered by Venerable Galagamue Jnanadeepa Thera. The Mahasangha Minister Gamini Jayavikrama Pereira and public representatives were present at the religious ceremony. The Savana Crest program of ITN is telecast from the upper precincts of the Sripadasthana. Venerable Dr. Samarakande Kolita Abhayatera delivered the morning sermon. The Savana Crest Damsabha Mandapa was held under the patronage of the chief incumbent of Sripadasthana, Venerable Bengamue Sri Dhammadinna Thera. President Maithripala Sirisena says that state officials should not allow illegal activities and malpractices despite the pressure brought upon them. He said while addressing new ministry secretaries at the Presidential Secretariat. The President said that he would stand by the state officials who take the correct decision on behalf of the country and the people. The President said that although the word good governance has been used many times in state administration, locally or internationally, it has not been acknowledged yet as a clean administration. The President said that no one would come forward to protect a person accused of fraud and corruption. He said that frauds, corruption and theft cannot be hidden and one day those activities will be exposed. The President requested them to commit themselves to a better administration expected by the people. He's asked them to take correct decisions and not to be afraid as the people will support them. President's Secretary Uday R. Seneviratne was present on the occasion. Several non-cabinet ministers, state and deputy ministers took their oaths before President Maithripala Sirisena at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. Dr. Harsha De Silva took oaths as the non-cabinet minister for common amnesties and economic reforms. Ajit P. Pereira took oaths as the non-cabinet minister for digital infrastructure and information technology. Sujiva Senasinghe took oaths as the non-cabinet minister for science and technology and research. Ranjan Ramanayaka was sworn in as the State Minister of Highways and Road Development by the President. Vijayakala Maheshwaran took oaths as the State Minister for Education. J.C. Alavathuala is the State Minister for Internal and Home Affairs and Provincial Council and Local Government Administration. The State Minister for Finance is Iran Vikramaratne. Ranjit Aluvihare took oaths as the State Minister for Tourism Development. The State Minister for Irrigation and Rural Affairs is Vasanta Aluvihare. Lucky Jayawardena was sworn in as the Town Planning and Water Supply by the President. Niroshan Pereira took oaths as the State Minister for National Policy and Economic Affairs. Ruwan Vijayawardena took oaths as the State Defence Minister. The State Minister for Power and Sustainable Energy is Champika Premadasa. Ashok Abesinghe took oaths as the State Minister for Civil Aviation and Transport. Faisal Qasim was sworn in by the President as the State Minister for Health, Nutrition and Indigenous Medicine. HMM Harris took oaths as the State Minister for Provincial Councils and Local Government Administration. Amir Ali took oaths as the State Minister for Agriculture, Irrigation and Rural Economic Affairs. Dilip Vedarachi was sworn in as the State Minister for Fisheries and Water Resource Development. AZM Zaid took oaths as the State Minister for Social Empowerment. Vadivel Suresh is the State Minister for Plantation Industries. Meanwhile, several deputy ministers also took their oaths before President Maithripala Sirisena. Anoma Gamage took oaths as the Deputy Minister for Petroleum Resources Development. Edward Gunasekara was sworn in as the Deputy Minister for Lands and Parliamentary Reforms. Nalin Bandara took oaths as the Deputy Minister for Development Strategies and International Trade. Ajit Manna Peruma is the Deputy Minister of Environment. Karunaratna Paranavitana took oaths as the Deputy Minister of Skills Development and Vocational Training. Buddhika Patirana took oaths as the Deputy Minister of Industries and Commercial Affairs. Palita Tevarap Peruma was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Social Empowerment. Still at home, soldiers are donating blood to save lives of the patients in the northern province. Health needs of more than 600,000 civilians in the Jaffna Peninsula are being looked after mainly by the Jaffna Teaching Hospital. More than 1,000 pints of blood are needed by the patients admitted to the Jaffna Teaching Hospital and other hospitals in the area. The highest quantity of blood out of the requirement is donated voluntarily by the soldiers in Jaffna. They have donated 200 pints of blood monthly to the Jaffna Teaching Hospital continuously since 2012. The soldiers have donated 1,072 pints of blood last year. Jaffna Security Forces Commander Major General Darshana Hettiarachi said that their blood donation program would continue in the future as well. Chief Monk of Ampara Potuvil Muhudu Mahavihara, Venerable Varakapola Indrasiri Thera, says he decided to take legal action as the problems related to the temple have not been resolved. He said this during a media briefing at the temple. Chief Monk of Potuvil Muhudu Mahavihara, Venerable Varakapola Indrasiri Thera, said that he told the relevant authorities to protect the artifact at the temple 3 months ago, but no action has been taken so far. He said that encroaching of lands of the temple has not yet been stopped. Therefore, the monk said that he decided to take legal action against those activities. The budget of the The budget of the Hanguranketa Pradeshya Sabha for next year has been defeated by a majority of 14 votes. Chairman of the Hanguranketa Pradeshya Sabha, Ranasinghe Disanayaka, presented the budget for next year to the Parshad Sabha. 13 votes have been received in favour of the budget, while 27 have voted against the budget. 19 Sri Lankan Podujana Peramuna councillors, 6 SLFP councillors and 2 JVP councillors voted against the budget. 12 councillors of the UNP and independent member voted in favour of the budget. The programme launched by Sri Lankan Army to build houses for the people in the north who were displaced due to the war is continuing. The programme to build houses for low-income families who were displaced due to the war was implemented under several stages. Under the programme, 1,200 houses have been built in the Jaffna Peninsula. The Army built 6 new houses for the clergy at Karainagar, Titapuram, Sivam Kovil. Jaffna Security Forces Commander Darshana Hettiarachi handed over the houses to the clergy. The 5th Engineering Regiment and the Infantry Regiment gave their assistance to the programme. United States naval ship USS Rushmore arrived at the port of Colombo yesterday on a goodwill visit. The ship was welcomed by the Sri Lankan Navy in accordance with naval traditions. The 185 meters long vessel is manned by 380 officers and sailors and is commanded by Commander R.C. Tiran. During the visit, the ship's crew is scheduled to engage in several programs organized by the Sri Lankan Navy and expected to visit some of the places of tourist interest in the island. USS Rushmore, which is on a 6-day visit, is scheduled to depart on the island on Wednesday. That's all we have for you today. Prime News returns tomorrow. Until then, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news, at home and overseas. Signing off, I'm Pankaj Kulatunga. Good night.